Good morning, student. In previous class, we discussed the 3.4 exercise and the sum number 3 we completed already in triangles. Now, in triangles, we start the 3.4 with the example question 4. Okay, triangles first. See here. Triangles and exercise number 3.4, question number 4. Okay, now what is question number 4 here? Question number 4 is in triangle FAN. Triangle FAN. See here, this is triangle FAN. Triangle FAN. In this triangle, angle F is 80 degree. Angle F is given 80 degree. Angle A is given 40 degree. This angle is 40 degree. And then find out the greatest and the smallest side of the triangle. State the reason. You have to find out the smallest and greatest side of this triangle with reason. Now, we already learned the theorem of inequality of sides of a triangle. Okay. Now in triangle, see here, in triangle FAN, what we know? We know that angle F is equal to 80 degree and angle A is equal to 40 degree. Okay. Now we already learned the theorem. The sum of all the angles of a triangle is 180. Okay, angle sum property. We say that angle sum property. Now using this angle sum property, we can say that angle F plus angle A plus angle N is equal to 180. Isn't it? See, angle F plus angle A plus angle N is equal to 180. Angle sum property. This is the theorem. Angle sum property. Angle sum property. We already learned this property in previous chapter. Now, here angle F is already given to you. So, here 80 degree plus angle A is also given. It is 40 degree plus angle N is equal to 180 degree. Right? Okay, now see 80 plus 40, it is 120 degree plus angle N is equal to 180 degree. Right? Now angle N is equal to 180 degree minus 120 degree. It means angle N is equal to 180 minus 120, it is 60 degree. Means third angle is 60 degree. This angle is already given 60 degree. Okay. Now see in this triangle the greatest angle is now 80 and smallest angle is 40 and this is 60. Okay. Means now you can say that in triangle FAN, angle F is greater than angle N and angle N is also greater than angle A. You can say that. Okay. It is already we find out there. Therefore, the theorem of inequality of sides of a triangle is there. The side opposite to greater angle is greater and side opposite to smaller angle is smaller. Therefore, you can say that the side opposite to angle F, the side opposite to angle F is AN. So AN is greater than the side opposite to N, means AF is greater than the side opposite to smaller angle, that is 40 degree, that is FN. It means the greatest side is AN and smallest side is FN. So you can say that therefore the greatest side is AN, side AN, greatest side is side AN, and smallest side is side FN. Okay, in this way you can find out the smallest and greatest side of a given triangle. Okay, write down this now. I think the doubts are clear here. Student, now we go to the next sum, exercise 3.4, sum number 4. The given sum is prove that an equilateral triangle is equiangular. Prove that an equilateral triangle is equiangular. See here, the question is prove that an equilateral triangle is equiangular. Okay, now what is mean by equilateral and what is mean by equiangular? See, first, equilateral means all sides are equal, and equiangular means all angles are equal. A triangle given with all sides equal, and you have to prove that the all angles of that triangle is also equal. Okay, now first you have to write down here given. What is given? Okay, see, given, let triangle ABC. Triangle ABC is equilateral triangle. Okay, triangle ABC is equilateral. It means you have to draw the equilateral triangle. Let it is equilateral triangle A, B, and it is C. All sides are equal. It is given to you. Now to prove. Second is to prove. Now what to prove? You have to prove angle A is congruent to angle B is congruent to angle C. It means you have to prove triangle ABC is a equiangular triangle. Okay. Now how to prove? Now proof. See here. Now first we know that in triangle ABC, what we know? AB is congruent to AC is congruent to BC. AB is congruent to AC is congruent to BC. It is given to you. Okay. Now we know that the angles opposite to congruent sides are congruent. We already know that the angles opposite to congruent sides are congruent. Okay, therefore you can say that the all sides are congruent means the all angles are congruent. It means angle BAC is congruent to angle ABC is congruent to angle ACB. Okay, now what is this mean? What this mean? Angle A is congruent to angle B is congruent to angle C, right? Therefore you can say that triangle ABC is equiangular. Okay, in this way you can prove that the equilateral triangle is always equiangular. All sides are equal, it means all angles are also equal. So in this way you can prove the equiangular triangle, right? Now this is question number 5. Now we go to second, question number 6. Okay. Now come to question number 6. Now what is question number 6? I will draw the figure here. See, question number 6. Question number 6. Prove that if the bisector of BAC means one triangle is there. Let this is triangle ABC. A, B, C, and a bisector of BAC means bisector of this angle. Let it is D. This angle is congruent to this angle, and this is perpendicular also. Means this is perpendicular to BC. It is given to you. Now what is given? See here. With diagram you have to write down the given also. In triangle ABC, AD is a angle bisector of angle BAC such that AD is perpendicular to BC. It is given to you. Okay. Now what to prove? Then triangle ABC is an isosceles triangle. You have to prove this triangle ABC is an isosceles triangle. Means you have to prove AB is congruent to AC. You have to prove AB is congruent to AC. Okay. Now how to prove? See here. What to prove? To prove triangle ABC is an isosceles triangle. Okay. What to prove? Triangle ABC is an isosceles triangle. Okay, isosceles triangle. You have to prove this isosceles triangle. Now how to prove this? See here now. So proof. See here. In triangle ABC, we already know that AD is the angle bisector of angle BAC. Okay. Now, by this angle bisector, we create two triangles there. One is ADB and one is ADC. Okay. Now in triangle ADB and triangle ADC. In these two triangles, what we know? We know that angle BAD is congruent to angle CAD. It is given. Okay. It is given because AD is the angle bisector of BAC. Therefore, now second, see here, this side AD is common to both sides. So you can say that segment AD is congruent to segment AD. Reason is common side. What is the reason? Common side. This is common side to both the triangle. Now third, angle, see here, this angle ADB is 90 and ADC also 90. These two angles are also 90 because it is given. It is perpendicular to BC. AD is perpendicular to BC. So angle ADB is congruent to angle ADC. Reason, it is given. Okay. So see here now. Angle, side, angle. The two angles and the side in between that two angle is congruent to two angles and side in between that angle to the corresponding next triangle is congruent. Then we can say that these two triangles are congruent. So you can say that therefore triangle ADC is congruent to triangle ADB is congruent to ADC. Okay. What is the reason? Angle, side, angle test. Angle, side, angle test. ASA test. okay, of a congruency. Now if these two triangles are congruent, it means the remaining parts are also congruent. Means which are the remaining parts? See, here AD is common. Now BD is equal to DC and AB is equal to AC. These are the corresponding sides. So you can say that segment AB is congruent to segment AC. Is congruent to segment AC. This is equation number, you can say that 1. Now in triangle ABC, what we proved? Segment AB is congruent to segment AC from 1. We proved this from 1, right? Therefore you can say that triangle ABC is an isosceles triangle. Isosceles triangle, right? In this way you can prove the triangle ABC is an isosceles triangle, right? You get it now? Okay, any doubt? Okay, right. Now come to the next question. Now the question number 7. See question number 7. First I will draw the diagram here. The given diagram is, this is the given diagram. So here P, Q, R, S and PQ is congruent to PR. It is given. So in given figure PR is congruent to segment PQ. So first you are write down here given. In triangle PQR, PQ is congruent to PR and S is the point and S is the point on QR such that Q dash R dash S means they are linear. Okay, and what to prove here? See here, to prove, you have to prove segment PS, you have to prove segment PS is greater than segment PQ. You have to prove that segment PS is greater than segment PQ. Now how to prove? Here proof. Now concentrate here. In triangle PQR, PQ is congruent to PR. It means it is an isosceles triangle. So you can prove that angle Q is congruent to angle R from that isosceles theorem. So you can say that in triangle PQR, what we know, segment PQ is congruent to segment PR. It is given. Okay, every time you have to write down the that reason also. Now one more thing, some students are subscribe that YouTube channel and they get the video before one day, but if you get the video before one day, you have to send the assignment post on the time according to timetable, means next day. If you get the given YouTube link or YouTube video before one day, but you have to send the assignment post on the same day according to the timetable. Okay, some students have subscribed that channel, they get the video before one day. Okay, so but even though you get that video before one day, you have to send the assignment next day. Okay, according to timetable, right? Now segment PQ is congruent to segment PR. Now come to here. Therefore you can say that angle PQR is congruent to angle PRQ. Okay. Why? The angles opposite to the angles opposite to congruent side opposite to congruent side are congruent. Okay, this is the reason. Now it means angle PQR is congruent to angle PRQ. Okay, this is equation number 1. Now come to next. See here, in this PQR, in triangle PRS, this is external angle. Okay, PRQ is the external angle for PRS. So angle PRQ is a external angle of triangle PRS. Therefore, you know the property of external angle of a triangle, means that is remote interior angle theorem. Means this angle is always greater than this angle, or you can say that measure of this angle is sum of measure of these two angles. It means it is greater than this angle. Okay, you can say that. Therefore, angle PQR is greater than PRQ. Angle PRQ is greater than angle PSR. So remote interior theorem, due to remote interior theorem. Okay, see now what is PRQ. Here PRQ means it is PQR. PRQ is equal to PQR is equal to PRQ. PRQ is greater than PSR. PRQ is greater than PSR. It means you can say that therefore angle PQR is greater than angle PSR, because PRQ and PQR are same. Here from 1, right? Therefore you can say that, see here now, here PQR in triangle, now in triangle PQS, what we know, angle PQR is greater than angle PSR. In this triangle PQS, PQR means PQS, PQR means PQS. Okay, it means PQS is greater than PSR, means this is greater angle and this is smaller angle. So we know the equality of sides. The side opposite to greater angle is greater and side opposite to smaller angle is smaller. So you can say that the side opposite to PQS is PS, that is PS is greater than the side opposite to PSR is PQ, it is greater than PQ. Segment PS is greater than segment PQ. In this way you can prove this theorem, or prove this statement, segment PS is greater than segment PQ. Okay, so one more question is there, you have to solve that question, last 8 question, and this exercise is finished here. In next lecture we continue the next exercise.